This episode is brought to you by Focus Friend by Hank Green. Not actually, but we love him. My bean's name is Barnaby.
Benita's making socks right now. Lights are dim, the windmill is spinning, and we are back, baby!
That's right. Welcome to Secrets in the Elephant Room, where we talk about life, love, and all of our goals in between.
So sit back, grab your tea, or you know what? Just grab your vision board, and let's get into it!
As you guys know, my name is Peyton.
And I'm Delaney.
And this week's elephant is September lock-in. But how do you actually lock in without burning out?
That's a very good point. That tea was hot. Holy but Jesus. My goodness. Well, should probably start. I hope everyone else is just like us, or maybe it's just me, but my TikTok is flooded, and I mean flooded right now with this phenomenon of September locking in. I have been getting so many TikToks of people trying to put the science behind it, just people, like, honestly, I love having my TikTok be a wellness girly TikTok, like have everyone else's routines, but it's kind of getting a little overwhelming. Like, it's like, what is that? When you pick things, it's the chooser between, what is it? Not buyer's fatigue. When you have to choose between too many things, what is that? And it stresses you out.
Oh my gosh, I have no clue what you're talking about.
There's a terminology for it. I swear to God.
Like, I know what you're trying to go for, but I'm confused what you mean by it.
Well, I just mean that, like, there's so many different, like, there's so much content of everyone doing this thing so many different ways that it's like overwhelming to try to sit down and lock in because there's just so many different avenues to go about this, you know? That's what I'm trying to say. It's like too many options.
Well, you're not the only one, because since we talked about it on 2 episodes ago, it has been all over my For You page. So thanks a lot for that, Delaney. Actually, genuinely, like, thank you. Like, it is an interesting idea that, like, taking this specific time to, like, lock into certain goals or aspects you have. But yeah, definitely is all over my For You page, and now I'm like a little overwhelmed by it as well, because it's like, where do I start? Especially right now for me, being in a new city, starting a new job. I don't think we didn't talk about that because I didn't have it last time we recorded. I officially have a job out here, but I have like a lot of things going on, so it's also like, how do I balance wanting to grow the skills that I have versus like the things that I need to do? Because I'm going to be starting 3 new jobs on top of grad school, but I also want to just grow in things that aren't career and school. So it's a good time to lock in on those things and create healthy habits and a new balance for it.
It's great. I have been a sucker for a good lock-in. I'm a sucker for a good routine, morning and night routine, like just like you should put yourself first always, but sometimes having this extra oomph is just like so empowering, and you feel like a baddie, and you just feel like, you know, you're taking on all the wellness and you feel super good inside. But we should also talk about probably the most embarrassing elephant in the room.
Our conversation yesterday.
Yeah.
I was going to bring it up. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, it's okay.
Delaney and I were talking yesterday, and we were like, what do we want to do this new episode on? Like, we're both interested in the September lock-in. And Delaney kind of asked me, she was like, why does it, like, as soon as September hits, why does everybody want to get on, like, their hot girl discipline arc? Like, why are we all trying to lock in during this season? And I was like, Delaney, usually in the colder months, you lock in more because you're literally locked in. You literally stay inside. If you're on isn't it the Northern Hemisphere? Is that what we're on?
Yeah.
Yep. Like we said, Delaney and I have Hank Green's Focus Friend app, and our beans are knitting right now, so neither of us can use our phones.
We're in the Northern Hemisphere and the Western Hemisphere.
I was right, Western Hemisphere. But if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, September to March is usually colder for you. So that is the time that we, quote unquote, lock in.
Yeah, it was an eye-opening blonde moment for Delaney. I was like, oh my God, that makes so much more sense. I felt so stupid.
I don't necessarily think that is like where it stems from, but I think it's just like, I don't know, the way I think about it, I guess. I don't know.
I think that's a fantastic way to think about it. It made a lot more sense in my brain. I mean, I always thought like, September going into fall, like it's like your comfort, cute, cozy time, but also like, why not lock the fuck in? Like now's the time to do it.
Well, and especially in our part of the world where it is a strict schedule of like as soon as September hits, we're in school season. So that like after doing that for 13 years, your body doesn't just like break free of that internal schedule that you've had created for you for so long. So it makes sense that every time the like summer hangout vibes shift into like a fall more comfortable zone, that it gets more structured. So
yeah, I can see that. Plus, like, it's such a perfect transition, with Labor Day weekend, and then you really can just start on that Monday, and it's like everyone talks about it. It's just like a brand new era, brand new time. Which, to be fair, we are starting our September lock-in or thinking about it a little later. We're a little late to the party because
fine.
we had way too much shit going on, as you can tell from the past couple episodes. So now I think, like, I definitely know I'm sitting down, and today I did that also. Just like some things that this fall maybe I want to really lock into, really work on for myself. But I also want to make sure, like, my biggest intentions, which we could talk about what some of our locked in ideas are later for maybe like when we're talking about the idea of goals, but my intentions are, one, to give myself grace, because whenever I have gone into a lock-in, I have gone so hard and have been pretty hard on myself, but it almost led me to the point of burnout. So it was like counterproductive, like I was like, well, I'm not burnout in this area, but I'm burnout in this area. Like holistically, like everything should be together, like a good, like nice little check-in of priorities. And I forget there's just so many different cups to fill too. Like other than getting, the nice dream body you want, or maybe I'm going to like read another book, like simple things like that aren't so simple. There's like way more things you can do to like really better yourself that I personally forget about.
Yeah. What I do is, so on my blog profile, I was for a little bit. I'm not really doing it as much. I still make my vision board based off of it. But on my blog, I had journal things for the beginning of each month. And I'd make a vision board for things I want to happen in each month. And then I had the 7 pillars of wellness that I included on it. So like these pillars have to do with emotional, physical, spiritual, social, environmental, financial, and intellectual. So I created one goal for each of those things that I was like, I am going to achieve this. And I made it very achievable. But with this lock-in, I kind of want to push myself a little bit more to like pick something and really be not like a professional, but some sort of more experienced version of myself within those things.
No, I agree. Which this past time I took a page out of your book and I did almost exactly that to a T. Like I had some clear goals in mind, and I'm like, you know what? I think I could lock in and really, because I'm a very goal oriented person. I'm finding this out, like, as much I'm a sucker for a good morning and night routine, I'm a very big checklist girly. Like my apartment is filled with sticky notes of random checklists for my personal life, my work life, groceries. Like if I can make anything into a checklist, I'm going to do that. And it makes me feel so much better when I check everything off. My issue is, and I saw this on TikTok too, is like making your to-do list too long, or putting things on there that just like, okay, like maybe you didn't get to it today, but I don't want to develop the habit of like making checklists just to make them and then something's not crossed off.
Yep.
And I feel like I was falling into that pattern, especially with work things. Sometimes I just would have high expectations for myself. And I'm not saying I can't do these things all at once, but I mean, realistically, shit happens. Sometimes you don't get to everything all in a day, and you need to like remind yourself of that, you know? So then things aren't like compiling on later. But that's also just how I feel in the sales universe. I don't know if you're going through something similar when it comes to working and not completing those checklists, because I was having a problem.
You know, a lot of people make jokes that it's like Virgos who have the checklist, but both of us have Capricorn moons, and I know for a fact both of us are like very extremely goal oriented, and if we don't hit those goals, it like hurts us emotionally. Like that's where it gets us. And so like I'm the same way. I have a whiteboard that I write things down. I have another whiteboard that's just my weekly plan. I have sticky notes and like the sticky pads. You have the one at your desk now because I made you use it at what was it? Winter solstice. I was like, write down your checklist on here. And it's just like, yeah, I have a million of those things too. Oh my God, I cleaned out my notes app yesterday. It's so bad, Delaney. I just have like 10 million checklists. Like some of them were from musical, some of them were back from Newsies when I directed Newsies. I was like, whoa. Everything was crossed off except for like 2 things that I was like, oh, I know I did that. Anyway.
Do we need an intervention? Like, what's the point where your checklists are too many checklists?
Also, Delaney, you with your intervention, ever since you rewatched How I Met Your Mother.
It's so fucking funny. The intervention for having interventions. Am I gonna do that at some point? I don't know. I haven't had an intervention yet, thank God.
Delaney really wants to have an intervention.
I keep bringing it up, like with random shit. But yeah, I'm just
You have brought it up a lot, actually. Not on the pod, I don't think, but it's definitely like in our conversations.
I didn't know that I was such an interventionaholic. Maybe it's because I've never had one and I want to experience it. But not for anything bad. I know intervention is like, it's bad. And like, I don't want to be the one with the getting intervented. But like, and I don't want to be maybe I don't want to do interventions. These are like actually sounding kind of scary.
Bringing them up.
Maybe I do need one. Maybe my self-conscious is
dumb interventions like they got to the point of doing.
Yeah, maybe I just want people to get called out for their shit. Maybe I just need some people to have some self-reflection.
Why the fuck are you yelling at me about this?
I'm not yelling at you. I'm not yelling at you.
Delaney thinks I need an intervention, and she's just not saying what.
Do you not think you need an intervention?
Mm-hmm.
I just, people. Anyway.
Getting back to our September lock-in, number 1, Delaney's gonna ask her therapist about her intervention addiction.
I do have a mental health column, so I can add it in there. Maybe I'll ask my therapist to give me an intervention.
God, just so you can experience it.
Yeah. Hey, can you
be like, if you were to give me an intervention about something, what would it be? Oh my God, that'd actually be a scary question for a therapist. Put it on Hinge.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I should. That'd be kind of funny. Anyway.
That would be kind of funny. Anyway, we're getting off.
Yeah. I'm throwing us on the intervention train tangent. All right. Getting us off that train and on back to the September lock-in train because we need to lock in on this episode. All right. Can we? Nope, that's another fucking tangent. I almost did it again. I almost
go for it.
I almost did another train. I was just going to talk about how it's been so chilly up in Minnesota, but it's such fall girl vibes, and I'm so loving it.
I'm so mad because my dad sent me a text that when they got back to Iowa, he sent me a screenshot of the weather down in Iowa, and it's rainy and 60 degrees, and he's like, I think we accidentally took your weather with us. And I was like, it's been 80 and sunny every day in Washington. Like, get out of here.
It was rainy, yeah. It reminded me of you. It was all like rainy and chilly today, but it was like a cutesy. Well, one, it was a terrible rain, but then it went into a cutesy paint rain, and then it was fine.
Oh, I love terrible rain.
Well, I was running into a store when that was going on, and I was
Okay.
like, so I was drenched. But it was for the memes. But I just love how like Trader Joe's has their seasonal bouquets out right now. You know, pumpkin spice lattes are afloat. Even though I make them at home now because Starbucks has screwed me over 3 times, and that is 3 times too many that I am not comfortable with.
You talked about this on 2 episodes ago too.
Oh my God, it
The
made
last
me so.
episode? Last episode?
I don't even remember, but it made me so upset. But now I'm bringing my fall into my apartment. That is what I need to do. I'm locking in on it.
I know. My mom called me this morning and she was like, "Guess what I have out?" And I was like, "What?" She's like, "My fall decorations." She's
No,
like,
actually,
yeah, she was like, "I went and bought some more." I was like, "Oh my God."
I need to
But
get
yeah,
mine out. I have not.
fall is my favorite season. Definitely like including all the pop culture references, but like I was just telling Delaney before we got on the call, like I'm really excited for Halloween. Like I don't have any plans yet, but I am already thinking about costumes. This time is also my favorite because I don't know, I'm so excited to go back to school. I'm so excited to be back in classes, and I really think that like that's why it's one of the biggest reasons for the lock-in time is like everyone's used to their brain kicking in and being like, all right, time to study. So they're getting those study goals started.
Your SMART goals.
Mm-hmm.
Academic weapon mode activated.
Always.
Locking in. How many times can I say lock in this episode? Let's count. Yeah, I love the back to school. I'm so excited for you. You're gonna have such a good time learning. But also, this is another good point that I found from TikTok too. But just in general, like the fact that I'm not in school anymore, and I haven't been for over a year now, and I feel like I learned a lot going through onboarding at my job. I was learning different skills. I was learning things. But then right when I'm I learn every day in my role, but it's like a different kind of learning. I'm kind of like in this stagnant mode of like, why aren't I learning something? Like what's a skill that I could do to develop, to really hone in, like,
Yep.
because as much
You're
as I,
craving that growth.
yeah, I'm like craving a growth of something. Like as much as I love reading, I'm like sitting down and just reading a bunch of books for a syllabus for me is not like, which this is my point. People are making personalized syllabuses, and it's for like syllabi, and it's for like different things. It's literally for anything you want to learn. I've seen some pretty creative ones on TikTok. I actually saw a whole Greek mythology one that actually looked really interesting, and that made me think of you, and a feminist writing one, which was really cool.
Well, fun fact, I've studied both of those, so.
No, I have not. But anyway, I thought it was cool. So I made sure, like, skill-wise, learning-wise, I'm adding it to my lock-in because I want to learn. I want to be a sponge for learning.
Yeah, I think mine is not so much like academic because I'm already doing that. My goals are going to be more life oriented and skill oriented because I do a lot of hobbies. I have way too many hobbies. In fact, 2 of my kiddos, when they came to the party, got me a Hobby Lobby gift card. And they were like, yeah, they got me a Hoblob gift card because they were like, we didn't know what kind of hobby you were into right now because it changes so much. And I was like, wow, they clocked me. All right, clock it.
Clock it. T.
Yeah. They were like, yeah, we just wanted to give you this because we don't even know anymore. Yeah, so I think mine is going to be more specific, tangible, like growth based topics. Like I'm thinking of this, and you're also a Sims girly.
That's what I've been so long.
Yes, that's what I've been thinking about when I'm like thinking about what skills or like how to grow some of these skills. So one of my big ones is cooking. And so I really want to make a cookbook. I have not talked about this, but this is actually like a dream of mine is to publish a cookbook someday because I enjoy cooking, but I'm not super great at it yet. And my dream is not to have like a cookbook, but a cookbook recipe box.
That's cute. I love that.
Yes. So
very cottagecore.
Cottagecore because I already have my own recipe box that my mom got me, and I love it. So I want to design and build it so that eventually I can get that published. So that's going to be part of one of my syllabi that I'm creating.
Syllabi. No, I love that. I think it's cute. I'm excited. I feel like you're like much more of like you bake a lot. Like every time I feel like I'm talking to you, you bake all the time. So I would love to get a taste of Peyton's baking recipes.
I love baking. I don't have really much supplies in my apartment yet to bake, and I'm a really good baker if that makes any. But so I want to lean more into cooking because I could create a baking book right now, but I want to create a cookbook.
That's I like that. I like that idea. A couple different things on my lock-in, which I have ChatGPT help me. Which if anyone's struggling, like how the hell did I make this plan, or how do I make this plan? I kind of took a page out of kind of what Peyton said earlier. Is I tried to make sure I had a balance of like each different kind of thing I want to work on, whether that's personal growth, relationships, physical health, mental health. And I made sure I like wrote out goals for each thing. And honestly, I had ChatGPT help me. I literally wrote a prompt and I said, here's my goal for this, or here's what I want to start. Because my biggest thing too is like for instance, I want to save this amount of money by July 2028, right? Normally, what Delaney does is she writes that goal and then she works towards that goal. Well, that's super overwhelming. Like, why did you do that? One, Delaney, it is not even close to 2028. So you really think you're clocking this shit right away? No. Two, you're not making
have some sort of gratification to keep yourself going.
Yes. And that's like my second step I feel like in my plan right now I need to make. But right now I just have like my goals of what I want to do. And then chat like gave me a little bit of ideas of like how to structure if I want to do it a checklist way versus a scheduling way and what that is. So I don't know if we want to just hop right into it because I'm ready to share.
Do we want to go through how to start building? Because like, I feel like some people don't want to go to ChatGPT. I definitely try not to use it.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Talk about some ideas on building through, and then we could go into what kind of thoughts and plans we have.
Period.
Getting started, you really need to like think with yourself some of your priorities rather than don't try to fix your whole life. I don't know what Delaney has planned yet, but I know she's the kind of person to go in and be like, I want to fix everything. I'm going to make a financial plan, and I'm going to make a dating plan, and I'm going to make a fitness plan, and I know you're going to give up if you overwhelm yourself.
Well,
Did you
clocked
do
me.
so?
I mean, I went like general holistically because I want to work on being well-rounded. Like my thing, I'm not again doing these like ridiculous fucking goals where it's like way out there or I like give myself like a monthly goal. Like right now, like I'm trying to I focused on what I'm prioritizing. And that is like my little pillars of, okay, this is something I've been thinking about starting. This is something I'm thinking about starting, which Peyton's smirking at me because I'm adding and adding and adding and she's has a point. But also like that is what I want to work on is all of this stuff. So I guess that's like a really good point is how to like not overwhelm yourself with this lock-in too when you're making these things.
Think about each small piece being a class that you would take. You can think high school if you didn't go to college. If you did go to college, think about it as a college course. Think about how much time you're going to have to put into each of these courses. So if you have a 4 credit hour course, how much time are you actually expected to spend on that course?
That's a good point.
Think about it like that. Each of these things and goals that you make is going to take up time. So if you have 10 classes that you're trying to take at once, that's impossible. You're not going to be able to do that on top of having a full-time job, a social life, and all the other things that you want to do. You're going to break. In college, they recommend you take 4 to 5 classes. That is if you have a full-time schedule. Delaney, are you able to take a full-time college course, like be a full-time student at a college right now on top of your full-time job?
Probably not. But also, Some of my
So,
pillar. Okay.
so are you going to assign yourself 4 to 5 classes?
No.
There you go. You can't expect yourself to do practically 3 jobs at once because you have your full-time job, you have these classes if you're doing a full-time class load, and then you have everything else and the responsibilities you have to maintain. So maybe we start by picking a few things that are really, really important to us right now. I can look at your thing if I want to, and I kind of want to.
You can. I think mine has a bunch of random, like all ChatGPT did was organize it. But my main one, remember we were talking about the skill, is I kind of want to get into learning like producing a little bit more and
You have
having
8 goals here.
what?
You have 8 goals.
Oh, for each category?
No, you have 8 categories.
Yeah.
That's a lot of classes to take if you want to if you don't want to fully dive into these things. It's a little different. But
I did I prioritize them. Like at the bottom it's priorities for September lock-in, top 3 to focus on. Like in general. These was just me writing down things like goals of mine I just have. Cause that was my thing is I needed to write down things that I was thinking about doing or would like to do or could be nice to do. And I wrote all those out first. Like you said. Like, I just haven't finished it, you know? I didn't prioritize it, but I wrote down things that I thought were important to me and wrote like all of those down. Now it's up to me to decide which ones am I really going to lock in on from there, you know? So this is just like my general, again, organization of goals. But then again, in Delaney's mind, she was going to do all of this. So this is why it's good we're having this episode, because it would have probably been a lot.
it would have been a lot.
Yes. But
yeah, I think the biggest thing is just figuring out like small priorities. Don't think about it as like fixing everything in your life. You do not have time for that. There's a lot of fixing to be done. I'm not talking to you, Delaney. I'm talking to everyone in general. I know I'm a mess. And if I try to fix my entire life right now, I wouldn't have time for anything else. Just focus on being a little bit better about something. Just be a good person.
I feel like I have that covered, semi.
The biggest thing next is like to figure out how you're going to hold yourself accountable for these priorities. Just after you pick a few small ones, how are you going to keep yourself accountable? Are you going to do self check-ins that involve you kind of breathing, meditating, thinking with yourself? Are you going to journal? Are you going to do maybe mood boards? Are you going to have a group of friends that are going to kind of hold each other accountable to whatever it is that you're doing, while also making sure that like it's still something you feel good about? How are you going to do check-ins, Delaney?
Shit, I don't know. Just kidding. I think I'm stuck between like if I do the journaling route, because I do want to get more into like journaling, and I already am. Like I do it in the morning to set my intention for the day. I've just been really bad about it in the evenings, but like I definitely want to get back into a nice evening routine again because I have not been sleeping well. AKA I just need to get off my phone, and journaling can help me with that. But I think journaling about it like once every week would be good. Like checking in on like each pillar I have or each thing I'm like trying to do and just seeing where I'm at. And like if it's making me feel good, if it's not, if this is something, you know, just so that I'm not like trying to beat a dead horse. Like if something's not working and like I'm just feeling overwhelmed, then I know not to prioritize it as much type of deal. So maybe I will do like more of the like not so much, I guess it is a journal prompt, just checking in on each category each week. Because then it already checks off one of my things is I want to journal more. That will give me a prompt to journal more and to reflect more.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. I like it.
How about you? What are you doing?
A part of mine is I want to set aside time for intentional breaks instead of like scrolling on my phone forever. One of my big things is actually sticking with the time limits that I set on social media and not like trying to find a way around that. But I really want to focus on meditation, grounding. You know, we did our whole witchy episodes where we talked about crystals and tarot and all that fun stuff. And Delaney with her citrine.
Citrine!
But Yeah, I want to spend more intentional break time is part of my curriculum, is how to I'm doing I haven't figured out what to name it because I haven't built my syllabus for it yet, but I want to do a dopamine detox, which mixes mental health and financial health and spiritual health. It kind of mixes all of those things and physical health a little bit because instead of getting up in the morning and scrolling on my phone, I'm going back to mine and Delaney's 5 a.m. walk club.
The one that I tried to do for 2 weeks, and then after the 2 weeks I was done.
I did it for a month and a half until school was over, a little after school was over, and I was like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. I don't have a job to get up for. I can't keep getting up at 5 in the morning.
My thing is just I didn't get enough sleep, so it was not feasible for me to do that.
Yeah. But that's also part of my thing is making sure I go to bed earlier by staying off my phone, not allowing myself to do that. And then at my new job, will be working at 7 a.m. So my goal is to get up at 5, go for either a nature walk, or the gym is literally 30 feet from my house. So I have absolutely no excuse. I told my mom, I was like, I'm going to give you one time that you're able to shame me if the next time you see me in person and I don't look skinnier, because I have absolutely no excuse not to go to the gym. That's awful to say. I told my mom that, and she was like, Peyton, I wouldn't do that. And I was like, yes, but I need you to.
You know who would do that?
Jer Bear. Rich, huh? Anyway, but yeah, so part of my plan is in the morning, no phone time, immediately change, headphones go on, go for a walk, and then I maintain my time limit on my socials, which is 1 hour combined with all of my socials, including Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I don't go on Twitter or Threads ever, but they're on there. But those are the things that I'm really going to restrict unless I'm making content. That is the only time that I'm allowing myself to ignore those limits, because another one of mine is content creation, especially because I now have 5 solo side quest videos recorded, and I have not posted a single one. I have 5 of them recorded and I haven't posted any of them.
Go solo side quest.
I know. But it's also including not being on my phone for an hour before I go to bed and making sure I'm doing my meditations, my tarot, the different things like that. But yeah, one of mine is dopamine reset. It's also not spending money on stupid shit that doesn't make me feel good long term.
It's a good one.
Maybe that Starbucks isn't going to make my day better. Maybe I'm not going to go spend that money on it. Like I kind of said, I have outlines, I have ideas, but the biggest thing that you can do is research, finding things that follow the lines of the ideas. Oh my goodness. The ideas that you have. So search up books that have to do with your ideas, podcasts, YouTube. You can also listen to what other people are doing. Like Delaney and I said, there is a million people, so many people doing the September lock-in. There is no way there is not another person who is doing it that isn't doing something that you might want to do.
Period.
What are you thinking about when structuring your classes, Delaney?
Fuck, I don't know. You ripped my ass a new one earlier, so now I'm like...
Well, how detailed are you going in with your...
Well, some things that I was thinking about, one is building a new skill. So that was kind of my learning curriculum, but also getting into my creativity. So some of my goals that I was this would be a cool thing to do is, one, I want to finish Big Magic, which that's just setting aside time either 10 pages in the morning, which I
love Big Magic.
Which is that was an easy thing, easy tangible thing, just to check off, because I know I can read 10 pages in the morning and that's going to be my book to read, or if I want to read before bed. So that was one of my goals. And then the other one was to learn more just about the world of producing and getting into that space, whether it's just watching, taking a time or one day a week to just sit and either watch YouTube videos on it or test something myself or use that like 1 hour to like write down a new song idea or just sit with myself and think like something like that is kind of what I was thinking. I know when I was like when it was getting organized, it was making it more like block out 2 creative studio sessions per week, even if they're only an hour or even if they're only 20 minutes, as long as you just book it into your calendar, which to me it'd be 1. I don't think I'd want 2 because I think I'd get overwhelmed with 2. But just booking that like 1 creative time a week for just like me pursuing my musical efforts. And then for the big magic goal, reading 10 pages in the morning or reading before bed. But yeah, and then my big goal to like when I was moving past those small goals is I wanted to write my first full song by January and then finish Big Magic. So that was one. That was one big one that I was like thinking about doing. The next one, or my next category I was thinking about, is I've been saying for so long I want to get back into working out or just, you know, getting some physical activity going just for my body's sake. My main goal was one, to just feel good in my body, which I do right now, but like just to feel more healthier, like feel more muscle mass. You know, I just felt strong. I loved feeling strong. And like I want to get back, and like that will give me the fall lock-in, those months to build a good base.
No, I'm going to get a little off topic. I don't know if we've kind of talked about this in the high school episode, but Delaney and I used to be workout buddies in our PE class. It was like an actual workout class. And honestly, I really miss working out with you, buddy.
Aw.
Delaney and I would have so much fun.
We honestly, yeah. But it's also because Peyton would love it because she would just yell at me for an hour.
Well, yeah, Delaney was weaker than I, so.
Yeah, well, and that and like, fuck, there was some days where I had so much crap going on because I was in cheer and dance and all that shit. So I would be so
Delaney,
exhausted.
you were also a sophomore and I was a senior.
Yeah.
Like I would be expected to be stronger than you. I'm not saying you weren't strong.
No. I'm not. That wasn't the point I was trying to make.
Okay.
My point was I was fucking exhausted the next morning because it'd be like morning, mid-afternoons, and I would either have like cheer dance and then I'd have a game that day. And then the next morning I'm like going into total well-being ready to lift weights, and Peyton's like, like I had a game last night. Why are you so tired? And I'm like about ready to like to fucking strangle her right now. But it was also funny because we had so much
battered from volleyball. I got my ass whooped last night. Girl, sorry, getting really off topic. Having a junior Olympic person playing against you as you're playing back row and they're a middle 2 hitter. Yes, I wanted to die some days.
Yeah. My point was I was just tired, and Peyton would be like, why are you tired?
I'm tired too. Get over it.
Yeah, she wouldn't try to make me feel less than, but I'd be like, I get it, you're in fucking volleyball, Peyton, and you do 10 times as many activities as I do, but we're different people. I'm not used to this yet. I'm still getting used to it. You've had years to accommodate. I have not yet. I'm just a baby sophomore. That's my rant for Peyton's gym yelling at. And then I've also like transitioned. I love working out with people, but I also hate it at the same time because like when I'm by myself, I really lock in. I don't listen to anybody. But I honestly miss working out with friends because I used to work out with you, and then I worked out with Ethan and Josh, and like that was always fun. And then I worked out with this other guy for a little short stint who that was a lot of fun. And then I worked out with Via for a long time, and like that was cool to like be in the I went from not knowing about the gym and then Ethan teaching me more, and then it was like we flip-flopped. And then I started working on what I wanted to work on, and Via like I got to teach or help Via out too. So like that was like a cool like transition for me. Moral of the story, yes, I miss working out with friends and working out in general. That, and I also want to get out of my comfort zone because this was also on a solo side quest. I just haven't done it yet. Is I just want to try like one new workout class, like a month minimum. If I don't like it, I don't like it. So like whether that's going to a free session of Pilates or maybe not like once a month, but once during the lock-in.
Oh, definitely.
So like one new workout class like during the lock-in, something fun to go get me out, meet new people. I want to do that. And then I liked kind of how it was structured. I know I used to work out every day of the week except for weekends. I'm not doing that because that fucking sucked and I would be so tired. And like consistency is more important, and plus rest is 10 times more important, which I didn't realize because I was working out more like a guy than a girl. And then I switched when I started working out by myself. And I realized, oh my God, my body needs this. I can't do the same things they do. This is why, you know? And
Yeah,
then
and that's a big thing with discipline versus capacity. Like, we are both very disciplined people. Like, we could make ourselves do it, but is it healthier to do it when some days you can't? And is it better to shorten those things? So like Delaney said, she's not going to go work out 5 days a week. She's going to work out 2 times a week. And sometimes even that might be too much. You might only have 20 minutes in you. At least you go for a 20-minute walk rather than giving up on it completely, rather than your full like hour, 2-hour workout. It's like being realistic about what you can handle that day versus like completely giving up on it.
yes, sorry, I'm like learning from this, so I'm like writing stuff down as I go too. We're learning together.
Yes.
So that was another one of my goals. My next one in this lock-in period, which this one was more of a feasible because I'm already doing this. So this was another one of those things that like I've already been working towards. It's career progression. I want to be promotion ready by January 7th because when you hit your 1 year mark at the company I'm at, like you can start actively applying for the next role or next promotion. So I really want to do that. Some of the things like I need to do is create a like I need to update my win list. I need to update my resume. Those are like 2 things on this lock-in bucket list this fall I want to do. Another thing is like expanding my network. So a role I want to try to fill in is an account associate, which is more customer success. Like that's something I really want to try and like take a crack at because I think I'd succeed in it really well. So my goal is to like network more with like the account associate team and the leadership in that. So then by the time I can apply for something, they already know I'm going to be the one going for it because that's like just the big thing in corporate. So yeah, those are my like career checklist. And also just like putting my best foot forward is my big thing. I'm taking on a lot at work right now, and I need to. Another thing I'm trying to focus on for the lock-in is career life balance, but also I want to look really well and I want to stack my resume. So finding that balance while doing that is going to be tough, but it's something I got. That's just an extra thing that I'm doing. But I can start by creating a win list or updating my resume, something small, but takes some time. And that's not a every week thing I need to work on because I'm always actively working on this at work. So that was just another thing I had on there for my September lock-in, another pillar, if you will. And that will be such an easy thing to journal about too, or check in on because I do it all the time because I'm working all the time. My next pillar I moved into was more finances, which I made a goal, which is the thing I told myself not to do, and I realized it after I said it, but I did it, was I made this goal for this lump sum amount by July of 2028, but in my head, my goal is to start the process. What does starting the process mean for this long-term saving goal? One is maybe setting aside some of my paycheck every week towards this goal, or talking with which I already have this scheduled with my financial advisor, talking with them about, hey, this is my goal. I want to start saving for retirement, but I also want to start saving towards this goal. Is there an easy way for you to get me there? That's already booked in the calendar. That's another easy checklist for me. But that's kind of my goal with finances, and then really getting into the budgeting, which Peyton made a beautiful spreadsheet that I really cracked into this morning. I spent a lot of time on it, and I want to keep myself accountable and like every Sunday block out like minimum, 20 minutes, fill in my expenses, keep myself accountable, keep myself on track for it. That way I'm like understanding what I'm spending and I can work more towards saving. So that's like another little tidbit. My next pillar was mental health, and that was again, consistent therapy. I want to go to therapy once a week. I'm already doing that. Another easy thing to check off for the lock-in, but I want to be consistent with it. And also more journaling. I want to put it into, I love doing my morning routine with journaling, like setting my intention for the day. To help with sleeping, I think I want to try journaling in the evening so that I'm not on my phone. And like that's like my thing for journaling. And my other thing I could do is, you know, an easy one for Friday evenings, checking in throughout the week how I'm doing on my goals. So as you can see, these I didn't go full ham, but like
She went full ham.
I did, but I didn't, because these things are things I've already been working towards and doing, and they're easy things that I can just do the quick little checklist and move on, you know? So like, I don't think I'm filling my cup too full with these things because I'm giving myself grace, which is my intention into this lock-in. Does that make sense? You're giving me a look. I was like, you're giving me a look.
No, I'm going to be your support system. I'm going to help you find a way to accomplish all that you want to accomplish in this. Like, we'll be here cheering each other on, but I will be like, are we burnt out?
Well, Payne also said she was gonna
doing?
write me a syllabus.
I told you I would. Okay. So, as I'm getting my master's in creative writing, after this, I'm going for my PhD, and the plan is to be a professor. So, I need practice creating syllabi.
Well, you have goals now. I'm literally sharing them right now. If you want to like just take a couple and like I'm going to write about for you. There you go.
I mean, I'll make your syllabus if you want me to.
Do it.
I'm not going to do it without permission.
No,
I'm not a monster.
I'm curious, but I wouldn't want you to get offended if I go, okay, I really like this, but I want to do it my way, like this way.
I'm not offended. It's fine. I'll just cry a little.
Okay, this one was more for fun. I put a relationship pillar. And in my main goal, it says not top priority, but it would just be a social thing to step outside my comfort zone. It's to keep it light and fun, but during the lock-in, I'm going to go on one date. So this lock-in lasts for what? If I'm doing winter, it's like 3 months. Okay,
Yeah,
one date is 3 months.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Like just one.
I know.
Fun. So then another one was just fun and recreation. I don't think I like have a trouble time with this in my life. So I do want to keep it as like a not a priority, but like I want to keep it accountable on it. Like this is to hold me from locking in on like one topic for too much, and then I'm not like holistically being like my best self, you know? So some things, continue my Sunday Girlies walking group. I'm going tomorrow. I'm super excited. I haven't gone in so long. I miss all the ladies. I'm super excited to go. My next thing is joining a choir. There's a women's choir up here that I'm thinking about joining. So I just need to put my foot down and go do it. And yeah. And then I wrote in my prompt, I was like, some other things like I know are coming down the pipeline for fun, but I need to save for these things. And these are like long-term, like down the line. And that's but some things I wrote down some concerts that I think I'm thinking about going to. I also put the Seattle trip, like something I'd have to save up for with Tia and plan out. So that's like a fun savings bucket list thing on there for my fun and recreation, and just making sure I'm like scheduling. It says literally here, schedule joy the same way you would schedule work. Like have some fun while this whole lock-in's going on, you know?
Yeah.
My last two are just things to try to like fill out this like holistic thing. Obviously I want to continue my spiritual witchy side, so just follow my intuition, embrace like the rituals, you know, like we literally have the blood moon tomorrow. So like embracing that feeling, that deep connection I get of I want to like be witchy right now. I want to do something right now. I want to get my tarot read right now. Like just keeping that in mind.
I can do a reading for you after the episode's done.
Period. So then another one I put kind of in the realm of spirituality is I want to focus, kind of like you mentioned with the content for the podcast. I want to set aside not only for that time for like, you know, my personal creativity, but also the podcast creativity. So then I can post more on our Instagram and TikTok, because I have not set aside time to do that. And that's something I want to get better at.
So much content ready. I want to make it clear. I have stuff prepped so hardcore. I'm not even talking about the solo side quest. I have clips and like stuff that we didn't include in the episode, but like bloopers. I have them all saved on my iPad. I just have not posted them because I suck.
So do I. I suck too. But that's just another thing with like the creative time. I want to like for our social media, like just spend an hour like locking in, like, okay, what's the theme? Like, let me get some content ideas. Let me go take some photos for the Insta. Like Something like that, keep it light and fun. And that could add to my fun too, my fun creative time. Overall, I'm getting this overarching feeling of my whole list of goals is mostly, I'm not going to lie, is creativity is what I'm getting from all of this. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are like my main goals for my lock-in for the next couple months.
So I have 3 syllabi, and I have created whole courses. I am not finished with creating my courses because I obviously haven't picked out books, YouTube, podcasts, or whatever, but I have outlined the goals of the course. I have outlined some of the assignments, as in like daily assignments and like final things like that. As I have already talked about a little bit before, is my dopamine detox class. So this one is a little more wide reaching, where it laps over a few different things. So it overlaps with physical health, it overlaps with spiritual health, mental health, and social health. So it's going to be limiting social media, really working on creating less instant gratification items and more long-term goals where I get bigger, not dopamine hits isn't what I want to say, but rather than, oh, I'm going to go get this for myself, I'm going to go get myself a sweet treat. We're not doing that anymore. We're going to save for the bigger items, like if Delaney comes for a trip, saving up money for that, or if I want to go to Canada for a weekend. So it's focusing more on taking away all of the instant gratification hits, like watching TikTok constantly, and replacing them with things like reading books or going for walks and things like that. My next class is called Chaotic Cooking Chronicles, and I've also kind of already talked about this. I want to work on my cooking skills. This both works on my physical health and mental health, along with working on financial health. So if I am making cooking more fun for myself, finding better ways to eat and balance my nutrition, I'm going to have better physical health, as well as I'm saving money on not eating out. That is a big thing as well. As well as my focus is going to be also losing weight. I'm not trying to be a model. I'm just trying to be healthier, because the last 2 years have not been as healthy as I would like to have been. But I want to find fun recipes. I got all of my great grandma's recipes. Some of them are not super healthy, but I do want to recreate and redo them. Her handwriting, very cursive, and I know we're not the generation, like, I was taught how to read and write in cursive, but like everyone's cursive is so different. Like whether you're taught it or not, everyone's cursive ends up different. So I'm gonna feel like this is such a fun class because I'm gonna have to decipher her handwriting and then end up making my own copy of it, seeing what actually works, and if I deciphered it right, is gonna be another fun project on it. But then also with that goes into my third and final class, which is content creation and recreation. So, like I said, I have so many videos ready. The problem is I have such a hard time posting, and I want to be a person who posts regularly. I want to be a person who's confident and comfortable with posting myself on the internet. In the last 2 years, I've been overly self-conscious about myself. And this podcast was a way for me to kind of get over that, but also like I want to continue to develop that more and work on actually having fun creating content when it comes to my blog, my Instagrams, because I not only run my personal Instagram, I also help Delaney run the Secrets in the Elephant Room. And I'm trying to start up my blog, Instagram, and TikTok, which is a lot when you think about it. You're like, Jesus Christ, why are you trying to run 3 accounts? But it is also like, how can I find a way to create content without making it a full-time job while also aspiring to make it a full-time job? I don't know.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, those are my 3 classes. I don't have all the specifics picked out for them yet. I have like overarching goals for the end of the quote unquote semester, but
Maybe I just need to, I think I need to do that. Like, I have all these goals. I just need to put them into 3 different sections and just like,
Yeah, what are your small daily goals? What are
yeah.
like your midterm? And what is your final? Think of it like a college course.
Love this. Love this. Such a good time. You know, talking to your friends about your growth. Crazy. In your 20s. Crazy.
Oh my gosh.
We made a lot of, I'm excited to make progress and get started on a lot of these things. I think
Yeah.
that's always the first leap, is just hopping in and getting started.
What's your fitness or a lock-in alter ego?
Oh, alter egos. Damn. Man, I don't
Bringing it back.
bring it back. Dude, I feel like I never had a name for her, but my alter ego at the gym, I just looked so mean. I was no, I'm not kidding you. I was intimidating. Any guy who would be friends with Ethan or Josh or would like start to talk to us and like they would talk to me, they're like, "Oh my god, we thought you looked so scary." Like ask Ethan and Josh. They were both attest that when I work out, I look scary as hell. I look scary.
Goodness.
So I guess that's my gym alter ego, is like, don't mess with me. Overall, I don't even know what the other ones would be. Creative art girly. I'm already a corporate baddie, but that's like another big thing. The corporate baddie's financially literate. She's getting her promotion and she's not letting anyone stop her. Period.
Yeah, I like it.
You're just giving me like, I keep getting like cottagecore or dark academia, which is like
That's just my vibe in general.
You.
I know. What was it? Shelby said something to me that will forever stick with me. She's like, "You're so cottagecore and a dark academia that like you're laced in cobwebs and like cotton but velvet." And I'm like, this is like so sweet but so specific. The girl knows me. The girl
She
just
does.
knows me.
She does know you.
She cracks me up. I feel like I'm going for chaotic wizard vibes.
Yeah.
Like if Merlin had a cell phone.
Merlin had a cell phone. That's so funny. If
That is,
Merlin had a cell phone.
I don't know. It's just like very academic. I'm also like trying to get into healthier habits. The cooking very much also gives like wizard vibes with like the alchemy ideas and things like that. And then the content creation is, yeah, the chaotic wizard.
I love that. We got some alter egos going, which I loved a lot, which we'll talk about. We'll talk about this part later in the thing, because I don't know if we've talked about this like section yet, but just going over some things that we learned. I'm going over realism versus perfectionism. I need that wake up call. Yeah, so like Peyton mentioned some good points. Make sure you know your current capacity and you're not romanticizing, like the corporate baddie, for instance. She's gonna take on so much things because she knows she can handle it and she knows she can outbeat everybody. But
are we gonna have an Andy from The Devil Wears Prada?
Exactly. Every corporate baddie needs to take a deep breath and needs a break. So we're gonna remind ourselves of that this lock-in and not over push where we're burnt out on the couch scrolling through TikTok and we're not doing anything. We're so overwhelmed, can't do anything. Next one, with that being said, if you do end up messing up, which I definitely know, like I would, like if I'm on my period and I got cramps and like something might not be happening, I might need to just sit and watch movies and not, sometimes that happens. It happens to the best of us. Or you eat something that's not necessarily good for you, or you might have spent your money on that Starbucks drinks and justified that was what you needed to have an amazing day, and really you didn't really need that because you could make coffee at home. Anyway, even if you do happen to mess up, it's okay. You're not a failure, guys. It's okay. Deep breaths. If you mess up, it's okay. And you know what? Small wins are still a win.
You need to find a way to celebrate. You need to have something that you get for getting the A. Otherwise, you're going to end up falling off of this if you don't make it a habit and you don't have something to help you celebrate the habit that you're creating.
How long does it take to make a habit? 60 days. You have to do it consistently for 60 days, and
Something like that.
then a habit is like created in your brain. Keep that in mind, people. Habits take a minute. It's not an overnight sensation. We're not going to be overnight corporate baddies or dark Merlins with cell phones.
Yeah.
But yeah, just remember these things. And at the end of the day, you have besties out there who are going to support you. And we can be those besties. We're supporting you and cheering you on the whole way. I was a cheerleader last episode, and now here I am with my pom-poms.
Tell us even your smallest wins that you've had so far on your lock-in.
Yeah. And I know me and Peyton and I will definitely keep each other accountable throughout this, even if it's just little things, because that's what we do. We're best.
I try to have fun with it. I definitely worked hard to make it as like cute and fun for myself as possible. I found ways to really reward myself on things that might have felt small at the time, but might feel small now, but were big at the time. So find different ways to make it cute. Find different ways to have fun with it. Create a playlist that might hype you up for something. Or
was the thing I was like, that is such a good idea. I have never thought about creating a playlist, one for either my alter egos in this wellness thing or a playlist for each course, but just like in general, like to connect for these things. I was like, damn, Peyton's good. That was a great idea. I'm going to use that.
I have a playlist for every single mood.
I have it for
every single mood.
But that's just moods. I don't have it for like, actually, that's not true. I have a couple girly pop ones that I like a lot.
I create playlists for everything. I create specific journals for everything, notebooks. I do create habits and routines out of these things so it becomes an overall integrated part of my life. So like in the mornings, right now, this is so weird to bring up, but my big addiction in the mornings is sourdough bread toasted with strawberry jelly. That is my morning. And then I have my little Energizer drink. And I don't have V8 energies right now. I can't find them. I'm like,
no! I should have said that for your birthday.
Honestly, I'm really thinking about having to order a ton on Amazon because I'm going crazy. My skin is feeling and itching. The bugs. But no, genuinely, like that is something that I've created a routine out of, is doing that and then like cleaning up around my apartment in the morning while my toast is cooking. And then by the time it's done, I let it sit out for a little bit so it cools down enough. And I finish like putting away whatever I was putting away, and integrating small things like that into a morning or night routine. Like if I did that and I wanted to do part of my detox in the morning, that would be a good time to include that and things like that. This is going to be really witchy, but this is why spirituality is so important when it comes to, and I'm not talking about religion, I'm talking about spirituality, connecting with something that's bigger than us, is so important when it comes to creating habits, because if you fall off, just do a ritual of some sort of reset. And I'm not talking about ritual like a seance, like you don't need to cut a chicken's head off. I'm talking about ritual as in like something that you're doing every day, a routine, a ritual, something that you created that's sacred to you.
What's that for you? Is that like the example of your morning routine of your sourdough strawberry jam?
That's part of it, but like every time I need like a really big reset, what I do is I take a deep shower, but it's like I light a candle, I put shower salts at the bottom of my shower, I put essential oils in my shower. I make it like a really fancy thing to kind of like reset and allow myself to have a brand new start. Because I don't know about you, but life feels 10 times better after a shower and a good meal.
For sure. 110%.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting there feeling lazy, like that's my one thing in my brain. I'm like, I need a shower. Cause like it'll wake me up. I feel so much better after. Like I don't romanticize it as much, but hearing your routine, I kind of want to partake in that.
I romanticize everything. But this is also something that I've heard. If you feel like you hate yourself, take a shower. If you feel like you hate other people, eat something. If you feel like you hate everything, take a nap.
Good points. All good points. I think I was really, I don't really think I have a reset routine, but maybe shower was that for me and I just didn't have a word for it. But yeah, I definitely think morning and evening, I've always sucked at evening routines. Like I've always like end of
That's
day.
my problem too.
It's like mornings is so like I used to be so good. I would read 10 pages in the morning to wake myself up. Not right away, obviously. I've started to be really good at drinking a glass of water before coffee now because it's just so much better for you. I get up, I go brush my teeth. I'll shower if I need to, like if I had it planned out, like or sometimes most of the time I do it in the evening. If shower if I need to, brush teeth. Then I'll start getting my espresso ready. Like I'll prep my espresso, all that jazz, and then normally I'll start making breakfast and then I'll journal while I'm eating my breakfast. Then I'll go, actually that's not true. I do 10 minutes of yoga because I get so stiff and it just wakes me up so much. I only do like a 10 or 15 minute flow. Like it's super easy, quick, gives you good breath work in the morning. So I usually do that after I brush my teeth. Then I go make breakfast, get my espresso prepped. Then I'll eat and journal at the same time and just reflect on how my day's gonna go. Then I would read like 10 pages and then go get dressed for the day and get ready. And then boom, start my work day. That routine helped me out so much. I enjoyed it. I loved like my cute, and I would put on like, I talked about this in the rom-com episode, but putting on a rom-com playlist, like I felt such like a cutesy little like main character in a book energy vibes. Like I loved it. So I would do that on top of it and I loved it. But then evening time, I do not have anything and I need to. Like I definitely think being away from my phone. I also think I need to invest in an alarm clock so then my phone's not near me. Now, I've seen a lot of things about Hatch alarms, but they're so expensive. So I'm like, do I really want to invest in something that heavy or just good old fashioned? I do like listening to like sounds when I wake up though, not always that. So
what I have is a sunrise alarm clock.
Mm-hmm.
So like the light gets like it starts really low and it gets brighter as it gets closer. I think it's like a half an hour before I wake up that it starts getting bright. And then it's at full brightness for like 2 minutes before I wake up. And it's to like help my body feel like it's time to wake up.
Does it make noise?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious. Maybe I have to invest in one of those alarms.
I love it. I haven't used it in a hot minute because I haven't had a job until this Monday. So,
yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
But yeah, I'm ready to start using it again because I love it.
I'm excited. Now you might have to send me that link.
It's been a hot minute since I bought it. I don't even remember where I bought it.
Amazon?
From. I don't know.
Actually, I bet I could Google it, but I
You could find one.
Benita's making socks still.
I just reset Barnaby.
I put mine for 120.
I did not do that. You told me an hour and 20 minutes. So I set mine for 80 minutes.
You wanna know what happened there? This is Blondie Delaney coming in. She said 100 and she said an hour and 20, but she meant 120 minutes. But she read 120 and then went,
I was like, how is yours still going? Because mine has been done and I just reset Barnaby.
Nope, Benita's making socks. I'm hitting 300 a night. I need to get something on my wall.
Delaney, I'm at over 600 already.
You've had it longer than me. Do not make it into a competition. If you make it into a competition, then this is not going to be good.
Actually, you know what? That might be a really good competition for us to have.
That we're off. Well, then I'll be off TikTok. That's for sure.
We'll be off our phones.
We might have to add it to the list.
Is it going to be part of our co-ed curriculum?
This has been a good episode. I feel like tomorrow I need to like sit down with myself and like plan out a curriculum.
I told you I would help you, but whatever.
Anyway, we're gonna hop to our curriculums, and we hope you do too after this episode of Secrets of the Elephant Room. Just kidding. I'm literally going into a whole new outro.
God, Delaney's making shit up on her own now. She's completely taking over, you guys.
I'm off the rails.
She's like, fuck you, Peyton. This is the Delaney show now. She'd be screwed after one episode. I write all the scripts and edit the episodes.
You're right. In my brain, I was like, the competitive person in me was like, I could totally do a podcast by myself. But it wouldn't be as structured. It'd be all chaos. No, literally, it would just be me picking one topic and then running with it and see where the journey takes us. This one's more
Rambling.
Yeah, this one's more obviously structured. Plus, why would I want to do a podcast by myself when I could do it with my best friend? And I never wanted a podcast until Peyton brought it up to me. So
Until Peyton bullied you into doing it.
Yeah, low key. But it's been great.
You're having fun now.
She's holding a gun up to my head.
All right. Well, make sure that you guys send us your curriculums if you guys end up creating your own lock-in for the season. But otherwise, that's the show, darlings.
Cue the can. You can help me if you don't have anything going on tomorrow.
I have a job and then a job interview. I will be done at approximately 7 o'clock your time.
Yeah, which I'll be working on it during the day.
Actually,
I could send it to you, like when I'm done. Okay, period.
Go for it. Wait, tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Sunday.
Tomorrow's Sunday. I'm an idiot.
That's why I was confused. When you said interview and job, I was like, they're making you start on a Sunday?
No, well, I had an interview today, but...
So then you're free.
No, but I have another interview
tomorrow.
Monday.
On Sunday.
No, on Monday. I have an interview on Monday.
So you have Sunday.
I have nothing on Sunday except for editing our podcast episodes.
Okay.